Hello, and this is New Vision TV. I am Ruth Naseje. National medical stores was and it finished, as they are now worried about the rate at which developed countries are dumping essential drugs to Uganda in form of donations, yet they're about to expire. Moses Kamabari, the general manager of National Medical Stores, laments that their hands are tied, and yet they need the essential drugs for the persistent ailments. It is barely a week when Moses Kamabari, the general manager for the government medical stores, revealed how they lacked funds to procure anti-malaria drugs and third-line hepatitis B vaccines. It has now emerged that they are haunted by the yet-to-expire drugs, which keep flowing into the country under the pretext of helping treat Ugandans.
Whether it is in Europe and they are about to expire, they are left with about a year or so, they always ship them to our account with us donations, and we gladly receive them because our people are suffering and these ones still have good shelf life. But by the time they go through the clearing process, probably they are left with another 5 months. By the time they go to the facility, probably they cannot even be used in the quantities that they are brought there, so they end up expiring there.
Other medicines, however, Kamabari reveals, are from private hospitals, which equally rush and dump the drugs into district health officers' offices a few months to the expiry dates, yet other medicines expire as individuals try to sneak them into the country from other countries.
Medicines and medical supplies that we have there in the districts and health facilities, they were not taken there by government. They didn't go through NMS. Majority of these supplies, more than 70% of these supplies, are from the private sector, including our own people who solicit donations. They could be well-wishers, they could be other politicians.
Kamabari, however, says discussions with partners are going on to see that this comes to an end. 2016 has been marked with big democratic defeats and victories across the world. New Vision TV looks at the major wins and losses of the year, starting with Uganda. East Africans entered 2016 while still observing the new style of leadership ushered in by John Pombe Magufuli in the region's largest republic of Tanzania. At the time, Uganda was in the middle of intense election campaigns, which pitted long-serving President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni against his former close allies, the freshly sacked Prime Minister John Patrick Amama Mbabazi, and perennial rival, the former personal doctor Kizza Besigye. Museveni won the February 18th election with a large 60% majority. Mbabazi's petition was defeated with a 9-0 ruling by Supreme Court justices. A poll that first shocked the world this year was not an election, but a referendum in the United Kingdom that saw the British vote to quit the European Union that was dubbed Brexit. The former Home Secretary, Mrs. Theresa May, took over from Prime Minister David Cameron, who resigned on the day after losing the referendum.
Direction. I will do everything I can as Prime Minister to steady the ship over the coming weeks and months. But I do not think it would be right for me to try to be the captain that steers our country to its next destination.
Like Mr. Cameron, Mrs. May was against Britain leaving the AU, but she says she will respect the will of the people. November brought the world's biggest electoral tsunami when billionaire and real estate businessman Donald Trump trounced the much-fancied Hillary Clinton to become the 45th president of the world's most powerful nation. Hillary Clinton, it turned out, had been made to appear like the obvious winner by the media and the opinion polls. She actually got more votes in total across the country, but Trump got more electoral colleges. Their biggest surprise, however, comes from the small West African Republic of Gambia, where Yahya Jammeh, the authoritarian president of 22 years, has suffered a surprise defeat in the country's presidential elections. He will be replaced by another property developer, Adama Barrow, who won more than 45% of the vote. The biggest surprise was Jammeh's acceptance of defeat after he had said he was set to rule for 1 billion years.
I've already made it very clear that I will never rule this country without your mandate since we started elections. And I will never cheat or dispute the elections, because this is the most transparent, rig-proof elections in the whole world.
Their closes with the Ghana elections where the opposition leader Nana Akufo-Addo beat incumbent John Dramani Mahama in the just concluded presidential elections. As Christmas draws near, many would wish to spend it in the villages. But to the early travelers, the journeys have been extended due to an operation on bus drivers who have failed to comply to the new traffic regulations. When New Vision TV left the bus parks, many were left stranded in the bus parks, while others were camped at the Central Police Station. Let's take a look. The harsh economic times has forced many to resort to a village Christmas, and many had earlier booked bus tickets so as not to have a rush on the D-Day. Unfortunately, those whose journeys were scheduled early this week spent a day at Central Police Station and the bus parks because police had impounded the buses and drivers arrested for violating traffic regulations.
Kwalisera bus terminal. So these buses you see, they were loading by the roadside and they are not complied with the changes. So that's why we did impound them, and action has to be taken against them to see that the regulations are adhered to.
The people stranded demand for the release of the bus drivers, but also for food, due to the long hours they've spent beseeching for police to release them so as to embark on the road as planned. He gives the stranded travelers hope that the bus companies should refund their money or give them other buses that were not impounded for violation of traffic regulations.
It is according to them, because the law is very clear that if they have paid their money for transport and they have not been transported to their point of destination, and the vehicle breaks down or it gets another problem, the company which was hired to transport them is supposed to reimburse their fare so that they get alternative transport, or the company is supposed to bring alternative transport to have them continue with their journey.
As many waited to hear the Saviour's call, some jumped on borders to embark on the journey of meeting their beloved ones in the villages. And that's all we had for you. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch us on your mobile phone, on your desktop, on your tablet, and anywhere on the go. I am Ruth Naseje.